Oh, hi. Today I'm going to make my very last video of 2022 before I can make my first one. As I noticed, I'm going to make my last video to you all now that to close off 2022, I definitely got a brand new idea to do so. Although I'm very interested in wanting to review Happy Feet to Offbeat Kiki as a request video, let me try and figure out its development. So, ever since Happy Feet came out on November 17th, 2006, it would be released in worldwide theatres in the month of December 2006, as it dealt with the story of an emperor penguin named Mumbo, who lacks the ability to sing the heart song to attract a soulmate, gets an ability to tap dance brilliantly, but he gets ridiculed and rejected by peers, and his father turns his back on him. But Mumbo departs on a quest to learn what's causing the fish population to die off, and to find himself along the way. However, little did he know that he's not all alone. Although he gets Ramon, Cletus, Lovelace to team up with him with Gloria, Memphis, and Norma Jean, along with Noah the Elder, Baby Seymour, and the infamous school bus. Although with the help of his friends, Miss Viola, Mrs. Astrakhan, Trev, Nestor, Roll, Ronaldo, Loboto, and Leopard Seal. Wait a minute, Leopard Seal? I don't get with the name Leopard Seal. Now, ever since Mumbo had no experience in trying to make a song to sing his heart song out, he notices the only way he can do this is to tap dance. It's probably an interesting idea to do this, although Kiki said that there was an original version of what Happy Feet could have looked like. Although for a children's movie, it grossed out $100 million on a budget. This movie had a budget of $100 million, and it went up to $384.3 million. But much to my charging, it did receive positive reviews from critics with the visuals, storyline, songs, which are quite neat and tidy. Although it was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, and also Annie Award for Best Animated Feature, and Saturn Award for Best Animated Film. Although for some reason, ever since Happy Feet lost both of the nominees to Cars, it felt like both Cars and Happy Feet have a lot in common. Since Happy Feet won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature Film over the Edge, or even most noticeably Cars, which was supposed to win the Academy Award, but ended up winning both Annie and Saturn Awards. Despite not being able to replicate the critically commercial ideas of what the success of the first movie was like, since its sequel got negative reviews, I personally have the idea that this movie got conceived around early 2001, when George Miller had an idea of encountering a grizzled old cameraman who had Shackleton expeditions, discovering he was sitting in his bar having a milkshake. He looked across the beach and said, "Antarctica." He shot a documentary there. "We got to make a film with Antarctica, just like here in the wasteland. It's spectacular, and it's always stuck in our heads." It is always stuck in our heads. And for Happy Feet, it was based on these earlier documentaries from Life in the Freezer from 2001. And where do God really have to mention that it would be more like a geopolitical movie about how this movie was supposed to be like. If Mumbo was a dancing penguin, all the dancers went through penguin school because they wanted to move like a penguin, and they wore head apparatuses to mimic a penguin's beak. Despite their solidly decent CGI animation, and they studied on animal logic of what they worked at IBM to make a server farm where they had to put some potential on studying about penguins dancing to each other because they have feet. But they realized that penguins don't sing in real life. Despite the decently awesome soundtrack, they had loads of celebrities involved, like Elijah Wood from Lord of the Rings, Robin Williams from Popeye, Brittany Murphy, Hugh Jackman from X-Men, Nicole Kidman from Moulin Rouge, Hugo Weaving and E.G. Day from Rugrats, which is a childhood favourite cartoon of mine. Although it's kind of interesting about what this movie was like, there are some pros and cons about what makes this movie so special. It's kind of fun that they had a tiny video game released in 2006 and a 4D experience attraction called Happy Feet 4D Experience. Although, if you picture Martin and Penguins, I personally want to give this movie... I need to find the right idea to think of. Just because Happy Feet inspired Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, I had one thing to tell you. What should I give this movie? I should give this movie...
I know, I was
I can't find the right number. Maybe I should give this number... 8 point... I need to find a way out.
No, from the basically public. Remember I told you any video with mom in them. I pirated this. Mom was just crazy.
I got an idea. I'm going to give this movie just an 8.8 out of 10. There you go. I like the special effects and I like everything about this movie, about what makes Warner Bros. So special to me. I personally gave it the right score. And now, I have to find out what happened in the trivia of Happy Feet, according to what could have been. Now, we did find some interesting trivia. According to what could have been, this early idea was mostly about a different version. We were supposed to be getting Cletus and Jabez hillbilly Americans rather than just working class Australians. In what this concept would have also been involved around alien ships running into a blue whale and having a conversation with Albatross, voiced by Steve Irwin. And the scene would have had wreaked havoc in the film's pacing. However, so instead, what we actually got in the final product, from Mumble's pursuit of the aliens to washing up on the shore, had an above elephant seal being modified. Although word got mentioned that Gabriel Iglesias was auditioning for the role of Mumble before he got rejected. And sadly, from my opinion, 2006 was also the same year that we finally had no idea what we were thinking of. Ever since Steve Irwin got killed by a stingray, this is how the film dealt with a major blow of its troubled production. It felt kind of sad about its bad qualities, that we never got to see a blue whale being involved with an albatross, and this scene got deleted out of respect. Although, this scene, however, the scene where Mumble was supposed to be chased by aliens on what we were supposed to be getting, let me guess. All I'm getting is that the movie was supposed to have a deleted scene where he runs to a blue whale and gets a conversation with Albatross, and it could have wreaked havoc on the pacing. Felt like it would have been a good idea about some aliens trying to pretty much abduct him to Florida. It felt like it got recycled into another movie called Monsters vs. Aliens. For some reason, a scene where the monsters being chased down by the alien Gallaxzhar at the Golden Gate Bridge was basically the scene that recycled that deleted scene. It looked kind of interesting at what this scene could look like back in 2006, but that's kind of like a double-edged sword to me. But with that out of the way I could say about this, I'm going to wrap up the entire year. I would say good night, Luton, because I have run out of ideas, but if you would like to hit the like button, you could subscribe it for now. So, bye-bye!